Hi, you lovely people. It's Sue here, and I'm here to tell you all about discovering WildFit. So, where did it all start? Probably from the age of about 9. I remember having a little bit of extra weight on me, being a little bit plump. I remember the adults would say, "Oh, it's puppy fat, she'll grow out of it." And I remember this one really mean kid said to me, "Do you know you're fat?" And I might have just said, "Yeah, whatever." And he said, "You're so fat that even if you didn't eat for 3 months, you'd still be fat." Now, I don't know what made him say that because I wasn't like an obviously really fat kid or anything, but I can remember from about that age always feeling embarrassed, always feeling conscious of how I was in my skin, never feeling comfortable, not feeling comfortable in clothes. So I can remember just feeling, you know, that's how I can describe it really. Not wanting to be seen because I didn't feel like I looked nice in anything. The same sort of thing right through school. I was conscious of being slightly plumper than the rest of the class, not good at sport because again, I just felt like a fat person. And I just felt like I don't do things like running and I don't do things like athletics. So I'd try and skive off and I would just avoid anything like that. Again, it was this sense of uh, embarrassment and guilt about my body, which looking back was never that bad. In terms of my relationship with food, well, I was never the kid that ate loads of chocolate or crisps. I never took money for tuck shop. And I ate relatively little, comparing what I ate to my friends. So I couldn't understand it. So I just felt confused about why it was I was like this. And I just remember that sense of confusion right the way through my teens, my 20s, in fact, up until fairly recently. As I as a teenager, it felt really difficult because you want to go out, you want to dress nice, you want to go out with your mates, you want to go into town, you want to go to maybe a teenage disco or something like that. And I always felt like I couldn't go. I'd avoid going really because I didn't feel comfortable. In case you're wondering what that circle is, look, it's my lamp. I'm trying to avoid it. Into my 20s, there was always this sense of I'm not quite as good. And one of my friends told me something that her husband said. He said, "Oh, it's such a shame. Sue's so pretty. Why doesn't she just lose weight?" And that sat with me for a long time because I felt, oh my God, do you not realize that every waking moment of, every day, I am consciously trying to lose weight? I just don't know how. I don't feel like I was overindulgent. I had a great social life, but I don't think I was doing anything worse than anybody else. So also there was this sense of it's not fair. Oh, so I can remember trying Slimming World. I've been to loads of different Slimming World classes, and some people get on great with Slimming World. I know they do. For me, I found it really hard because I felt that I was being deprived all the time. If you wanted to if you wanted to cook your food with a bit of oil, you'd have to count the sins for that oil. And then if you wanted to have a meal out on the weekends, you would have to save up all your sins for a week just to save up for that one meal. And I just couldn't stick to it. My social life was just too good. And I think the other thing about showing up every week without a weight loss, I just felt worse and worse about myself. I just started to feel inadequate, incompetent. Incompetent, I think is the word. Why can't I stick to a diet? I can do anything else I set my mind to. I became a computer programmer, switched careers. I rode Harley Davidsons around Arizona. I've organized big events, all kinds of things I was capable of, and yet I couldn't lose weight. So just utter confusion about what was wrong with me. What was wrong with me? I bought loads of diet books. I would try and understand it. I would try different ways of eating. I was always on a journey to discover what's the truth. Each time I bought a new diet book, I thought this one had to have the answer. And what I found was through dieting, actually, I feel like my metabolism shut down a bit. So what would happen would be I'd go from eating normal and gaining weight all the time to trying to diet. So I drastically cut back on calories. And then come the evening, I would be cold. I would feel really, really tired in the afternoon because I needed more nourishment. And and then I read that it's possible for your metabolism to really drastically reduce when you reduce your calorific intake in order to save what it's getting. So I thought to myself, what is the answer? You know, if dieting slows down your metabolism, how can you lose weight? In terms of emotional eating, I don't think I was ever a big emotional eater. I don't think I ever used to get down and then go and raid the fridge or anything like that. It was more of a social eater, social drinker, go out with with a group of friends, have a few pints. I used to like cider and black, a lot of sugar in that. I do remember a few times there being emotional eating, especially once I started dating boyfriends, when they started really playing at your emotions. And I remember an argument that left me feeling really mistreated and hard done by. And I remember thinking, stuff him. And late in the evening, I went at the chip shop and bought myself a bag of fish and chips. Absolutely fantastic. My absolute favorite food. And it felt like I was treating myself. So, without doubt, there was always a sense of food equals treats. So, that was very big, but not necessarily in a destructive way, but definitely things like we'd have family time would always involve a little bit of chocolate or maybe some crisps to share. So, there was always an association of treat foods, indulgent foods with celebration. I mean, who doesn't? Yeah. I think my weight has held me back. I don't think it's held me back in terms of what I've achieved out of my life, but so far. But I do think it's held me back emotionally, and it's held me back in a physical way. There was always this sense of guilt, not quite being able to express myself with clothes, express myself with my physical presence. I couldn't just stand there and hold my body in a really confident posture because I was conscious that my arms were too fat and my stomach was sticking out, or that my clothes were figure hugging. Did I ever just give up? Definitely. I just gave up so many times because I thought, stuff this, it's just too hard. Nothing makes any sense. And I can't stick to a diet. And when I do diet, I always gain more weight than I lost anyway. And I just thought, why am I bothering? Why don't I just start to accept myself as this plump, happy, fun-loving person? And that's, and so stop dieting. So there were a number of times where I did that. And usually what would happen is I would gain more weight and then it would turn into desperation when you go over that threshold where you think, oh my God, now I have to do something. So then I think about 10 years ago, I decided I was going to stop dieting completely, but I was going to keep looking for the answer. And I started to be more mindful about eating. I started to eat more nutritious foods. I discovered hypnotherapy and weight loss, which I think helped because it helped me to focus on healthy eating. So I think over the last 10 years, I've been making some improvements. In recent years, I've discovered things like low carbing and intermittent fasting, and I've toyed with those things and had some success. I did get down to what I thought was a reasonable weight for my wedding in May 2 years ago and fitted into the dress. I still had some weight to lose. But of course, what happened Honeymoon, 3-week honeymoon, put it all back on again. That's really disappointing when that happens. And then you know that actually you've been dieting for a special occasion. And so that was the only way I knew. And then a year or so later, I discovered WildFit. And I have to say, everything has changed since then. So, WildFit 90-day challenge. When I discovered it, I thought, oh, I'm not going to stick to this. I'll try it. I think I was probably thinking of it as another diet. So I started off when I was on holiday. I was camping in a tent. And I'd taken all the typical camping foods, things in tins, things in packets, treat foods, certainly some wine, certainly some cider, those kinds of things, which back then equaled camping. So I thought, how the hell am I going to stick to this new diet when I've got all this food with me and I'm nowhere near a shop? Anyway, I needn't have worried, actually, because when it started off really gently. And the first week was much more about really paying close attention to what you were eating with absolutely no judgment whatsoever. So that felt great. Really tasting the foods and starting to understand the reasons for my food choices. The first couple of weeks was very gentle indeed, really easy to stick to. So it was one step at a time. In fact, I found it quite exciting because waiting to find out what the next week's challenge was going to be was actually quite, I couldn't wait to play the video on a Friday to find out what the change was going to be the following Monday. And so that's how the course developed week by week. By the end of the 90-day challenge, I'd lost 1 stone in weight. That's 14 pounds. And I don't think that was the biggest benefit. Amazingly, the biggest benefit for me was the way I felt in my body. So for as long as I can remember, I have felt stiff in the hips. Those of you that know me from singing in choirs or anything like that, I never stand still because otherwise I seize up. Well, that is much, much better after the 90-day challenge. So I can only put that down to it must have been some kind of inflammation in my joints. My allergies are reduced. I used to have a really bad dust allergy. That's gone. And I haven't taken an antihistamine since about a month into the challenge. We would love to have a cat, but we've never been able to have a cat because of my allergies. So fingers crossed, if I can get on top of my allergies enough, then that could actually happen. My skin is clearer and brighter. My clothes were loose for the first time in ages. The most brilliant thing is my eyelashes are now longer. I used to have a problem with this. For the wedding, I needed to buy a very expensive serum to make my eyelashes grow properly because they were getting really thin and sparse. And but since the challenge, oh my God, the eyelashes are long and even, and applying mascara is an absolute breeze. People tell me my eyes are looking brighter and my teeth are looking whiter, which is lovely. And I get lovely compliments all the time that I'm looking radiant. So that feels wonderful. Sleep. Let me tell you about sleep. Before, I've always been a good sleeper. Always love my sleep. I love my lie-in as well. But I was always needing 8 hours. You would hear me saying, I need 8 hours. And I did, because if I didn't get 8 hours, I felt really tired next day and I'd be falling asleep early evening. And I always remember when the kids were little, I found it impossible to read to the children at bedtime because needless to say, nobody gets 8 hours sleep when they got little children, do they? And I'd be reading to the kids and I'd be falling asleep soon as I started reading. The worst time for me was early evening. I also get an afternoon slump, particularly sitting in the office, sitting at the desk. Oh, I'm feeling so tired. Oh, I want something sweet. What can I have? Now, the difference is incredible. So I don't get tired all day long and I don't need 8 hours sleep. I am having anywhere between 6.5 and 7.5 hours. And I don't need to set my alarm. I just wake up naturally. So yeah, sometimes I wake up and I monitor my sleep using the sleep app. And the quality of my sleep is like 80%, sometimes 95%, even on just 6.5 hours. And I'm waking up and I don't want to lie there because I'm awake and I'm alert and I want to get up and crack on with the day. So as soon as I wake up, I think, oh, is it early? Oh, I'm awake. Shall I go back to sleep? No. You've got all those things you want to do. And so my brain is alert. Now that's very different from me. I was never a morning person. I might just be a morning person now. I can't believe that. But I'm also an evening person because I um I still have loads of energy in the evening as well. So, I've been training to become a WildFit coach for the last 10, 11 weeks. And I've recently found out that I passed my exam. Woo! And the next step for me in certification is to coach my own class of students through the 90-day challenge. Now, I'm looking for 12 people to come on that journey with me. The maximum number I can take is 20. So if you're someone who is intrigued about what I've been saying about my own journey with WildFit, or if you're somebody that is looking for maybe to release a bit of weight or some health improvements or improvements in mobility, more energy and vitality, I would strongly encourage you to jump on my trial class. It starts on the 15th of February, and this will be the one opportunity for me to offer it at a significant discount. I won't be able to do the same once I've certified. So what do you get? Okay, so it's a 90-day challenge, which is 13 weeks. The 13 weeks starts on a Monday, the 15th of February. The first 2 to 3 weeks, you get a training video every day, Monday to Friday. And you get group coaching with me Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now, those group coaching sessions will be held via Zoom. If you're in the UK, they'll be early evening. If you're in the States, depending on where you are, they'll probably be around lunchtime. If you can't make any of the coaching classes, don't worry, because I will be recording them and sharing the recording with you. The training videos with Eric Edmeades are absolutely brilliant. They're so funny. He's so engaging and so entertaining. You'll be excited to watch the next one every day. So that's Monday to Friday for the first couple of weeks. After that, the training videos ease off a little bit and go to Mondays and Fridays. And the coaching classes also go to Mondays and Fridays. So in between the coaching classes, Monday to Friday, you're still going to have the support from me, because we will have a private Facebook group for everybody who's on this class, where you can share any struggles, any wins. We are going to be your biggest cheerleaders. That closed Facebook group is going to be your lifeline for connecting and staying engaged with the program. All that digital content you will have for life. So you're never going to lose the training videos and the online content, because this is something that you're not going to just want to do for 90 days. You're going to want to continue with that program because of how amazing it makes you feel. There is an ongoing network of support there for you if that's what you want to do. And I am always going to be here. I'm with this for life. So I am always going to be here to support you in your ongoing journey. If you want to find out if this is for you, I think the best thing you can do is have a call with me. And I really, really hope that you will embrace this new possibility, because from the bottom of my heart, this works. And nothing has ever worked like this for me before. So please do yourself a favor and get on a discovery call with me, and let's see how WildFit can start to get you closer towards your health and weight loss goals.